Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Distant Worlds Universe, episode 38 for this series. Last time we left off, basically just we got the Guardian fleet in position to be fixed up by construction ships, which is pretty good. Bonus income looking pretty nice there. Cash flow still a little low. We are working on rebuilding our ground forces, which is pretty good. Technology is advancing. We've almost got faster warp drives, which was something that we've been working towards for a little bit now. And I gotta say, it's gonna be good to get those, the advanced Equinox drive. So it's gonna give us a speed of 19,000, and then I'd love to jump up to optimized Equinox drive. Now, eventually, we're gonna want to start working on getting all of these drives kind of going, because if we do that, then we can focus on things like the ultra efficient hyperdrives, and then move down to the advanced hyperdrives, and move all the way up to something like Warp Gate Complete Theory. There's a couple different things we can do. Star Fusion Mastery. So yeah, we're gonna want to work on all that stuff, but there's no rush to get there just yet. It is something we gotta think about. Now, I've gone ahead, I've decided that I'm gonna go ahead and just I think ditch these exploration ships. They're just taking too long. Really just completely worthless to have them doing what they're doing. So if I actually just get rid of these completely, then I can just build 2 new exploration ships. Fast travel projectile weapons, no thank you. Alright, so let's go ahead and build 2 more exploration ships. There we go. And those will have the special sensors on them. We'll find good spots to put them, which will be very good. Guardian fleet here still moving forward. They've almost closed that gap, which is good. I've got construction ships on standby, as well as a construction ship over there repairing that ship. So I'm very happy with that. In fact, why don't we zoom in and take a look and see how this is going. Alright, all components are normal. Fantastic. So just in the nick of time. So if you actually tell it to join the nearest fleet, it should join the Guardian fleet, and he did. Alright, good. So he should warp on over to the Guardian fleet. That's awesome. I'm glad that we finally are getting this situation dealt with. We'll move this construction ship down here to help out with the repairing of these carriers here as they move in. Get those repaired. We can get the Guardian fleet back home where it belongs. Plan out our next mission to attack. I see that it looks like the Teekins, right? Nope, that's the Jintis Empire. They're still up here. Okay, it looked like for a second the Teekins might have expanded up there. That would have been unfortunate, but I guess that is not the case. I'm going to quickly scan some of these planets around here. I'm just curious if there's any resources that might be worth building mining stations on. I've got a lot of construction ships just hanging out right now, not really doing anything. And it may be worth my time. I probably should start getting some helium. The reason I say that is because I think I may switch to a type of helium fuel instead of argon. I haven't decided yet if that's something I want to do, but helium's still useful anyways, so we can go ahead and do that. I think if we actually click on the details here, we can take a look and see how useful it really is. Now, I'm not going to be able to see it here unless I go into the expansion planner. We can see what helium does. We've got 3 sources of it, so getting 2 more won't be bad, especially because it's used for Hyper Deny, Maxos Blasters, Corvidian Shields, Jarrex Hyperdrive, Fission Reactors, a couple of different things we use, so. Alright, improved assault techniques for weapons. I'm okay with that. We do need to start working on advancing things like torpedoes and Maxos blasters. We went for high-powered blasters. Let's go for, I think, synchronized energy output. Do I want to get advanced beams? I think so. Beam intensification, beam superflow. Super beam weapons is way later down the road. But going for beam superflow does seem like the best idea, probably. So long-range lasers and advanced laser focusing will get me there. We'll go for synchronized energy output though soon. That's our second tech after we finish the improved assault techniques, because we are going to build a dedicated boarding ship. Enhance the boarding defense, enhance the boarding attack. Okay. What does this exactly do? Short range shells that allow boarding capture of enemy ships or bases. Okay, just increase the assault strength and such. Planetary bombardment is up. Point weapons I'm not worried about. Advanced hangar bay, ultimate hangar bay. We've got lots of fighters. Those can upgrade to Alpha Star Black Edition. Fighters, carriers. I don't know how many carriers I have. Probably could use an upgrade though. Gravitic beams. I actually use gravitic beams, so going for an upgrade for that actually isn't a bad idea. Why don't we go for that next? Sure. Population growth seal. Plus 25. Okay, so population growth for that governor has increased. That's good. Cannot go wrong with population growth increase. These guys still not happy. Your empire's leader provides a negative 10 happiness bonus. Other than that, they have a reasonable level of development. And they improve our current tax rate. So if we were to do something like put maybe a space station there, that might help. But I'm not going to worry about that. We should get another space station up. I think I'm going to hold off on doing it. All of these areas are pretty much close enough to my main Sol system that the space station's there. There's 2 of them there. They're perfectly fine where they are. I think the only other time I'll build another space station is up here. Planetary defense units technology, not worth 800,000 credits. Sorry. It just isn't. Constructors finishing their mission. Okay. And how's the Guardian fleet doing? Have we made it there yet? Very, very close. Okay, so we are going to make it very soon. Gift. We're waiting basically. We're going to do a pretty big ship rehaul, but we're waiting for the faster drives. Once I get those, we're going to go through, upgrade a lot of our ships, because that's going to be pretty helpful. And how are my fleets for carriers? Do my fleets have carriers, or do I need to build more of them? That is a destroyer. Okay, need a carrier. Carrier. Does the first assault fleet have some? 1, 2. Looks like 2 carriers. Probably could use some more. Heavy weapons fleet. We never did figure out why this fleet couldn't bombard. It has bombard, nuclear devastator, but it did. Well, they weren't able to use it. Why? I do not know. Some carriers in this. Actually, a lot of carriers. In fact, the homeworld defense fleet looks like it needs more escorts. So why don't we go ahead and give them more escorts? $10 to be exact. I think that's a good idea. Oh, I messed that up, didn't I? I see that there's a bunch of ships that aren't in fleets. I'll look at those in a second. But let's get these guys into the homeworld defense fleet. What do we got here? Military battleship going to repair. He's set to automate. Couple of fighters. Firepower 264. Energy speed reduced. Movement Jerix hyperdrive. What kind of speed does that give you? Don't think Jerix is that fast. Another Jerix hyperdrive fuel. Not moving too quick, are ya? Alright, we'll go ahead and retire these. I don't mind getting the tech boost from it, really. And overall, in the long run, I could just build better ships than those. What if I retired my entire Guardian fleet? Honestly, the firepower of the Guardian fleet, retiring it would not justify what I get for firepower. I wouldn't get enough in tech, to be honest with you. 53,000 military strength is not a lot, but it is decent. And I've got lots of allies, so I can't fully complain there. Might go and try to wipe out some of these pirates up here. Are they pretty powerful? Firepower 28. No, they're not. I may send up some fleets up there to start trying to do some pirate cleanup. Doesn't that make a lot of sense, actually? Plus, it makes other empires actually very favorable of you. So let's get the first assault fleet up here, and we can use the first assault fleet to start doing some cleanup of some pirates. We don't have to kill them all, but we can fly and start destroying some of their small ships on the outside, and eventually maybe work to the core. If we could just wipe, because there's a pirate cell here, and there's just no point in having it that close to us. If there's any other pirate cells close by, we could also spend the resources on taking those out. But yeah, I definitely don't see any issue with taking those out. I see there's a World Destroyer project up here, and I can actually view and see what's going on. It is being worked on by these guys who are actually very powerful. I do not really want to mess around with them too much. But I do see that there's a heavy cruiser here with 400 firepower. Get me a construction ship that is not doing anything. You. Refuel. Hopefully that construction ship wasn't one of the ones that was over here. It is. Okay, I changed my mind. I want you to stay here. Don't go refuel just yet. Once I get those construction ships busy, I'll see what I've got for construction ships available. We'll go ahead and get that cruiser up there. 400 firepower is nothing to gaff at. And even if I decide not to keep it, I can always break it down for tech. Okay. I've got some new exploration ships that are built. The rest of them are off to the side doing what they're supposed to be doing. So let's grab up these exploration ships. I want one to move to this system here. Provide me some sensor there. I want the other one. Where else do I need a sensor? Why don't you go ahead and head to the Guardian Fleet area. Give us a sensor around that so that way we can be a little more aware of our surroundings while we're working on repairing those ships. Seems like a good idea. No, thank you. I don't want to buy any technology. I just don't. I feel it's a waste of credits. However, I am going to go ahead, though, and probably do a crash course for some of the technology if it's worth it. 30,000 credits? Yes, it is. Let's go ahead and get that crash. Do a crash research program on that. See, the first assault fleet's moving up. I think I can go ahead and bump this up to 2 speed and I'll be okay. Oh, actually, I could do a little bit quicker or slower bumps. Okay. Oh, no, that's slowing it down. Okay, 2 speed should be fine. We did have some lag earlier, but you guys should see how long it takes to save and the load a save with this game right now. It's insane. To save the game it's literally like 5 minutes to make a save file. It's insane. Like, you guys have no idea. My computer's barely keeping up, and I've got a pretty nice, not to boast, but I've got a decent computer. But it's just a lot going on right now. It's not so much my, my graphics card or even my computer or anything lagging to keep up. It's just like my processor. There's just so many calculations and things going on right now. We received a research bonus in efficient energy conservation from disassembling that ship, so that's pretty good. The Fearless Hydra at the Terra Space Fort. Energy conservation. There we go. We're about to get the faster drives. So, good stuff. I see that my private sector is not really flying too many ships around, at least not as many as it used to. Pure energy conservation, okay. Alright, research and advanced Equinox drives is complete. What are we working on next? So that I know. High storage capacitors. Okay, that's fine. Dense energy banks. I think these are technically the better shields, aren't they? Actually, I really like these shields, so we'll keep going for them. Dense energy banks. Our Meridian shields would be really good. Yeah, we might go for Meridian shields. We haven't decided yet if we want hydrogen, if we want to stick with Caisson. Like, do we want to go hydrogen or stick with Caisson? Did I say helium fuel system earlier? I meant hydrogen. I think I accidentally said helium. 4 units. 4 units per 1,000 energy. It is technically storage capacity 250, 175, 200. It can store more energy output. This is a little bit better if I wanted to advance with Caisson. Hydrogen or Caisson? That is the question. What are we looking like right now? Caisson, we have 8 resources of it. Unfulfilled, a lot. In transit, a lot. But we have a good stockpile going. That's galaxy-wise. In my empire, I'm not that bad off. How is my hydrogen? Or helium, right? Or which one is it? Hydrogen, it should be. Much smaller stockpile. How much do I have like for around me? Why don't I have that collecting? You know what? I'm just going to stick with Caisson, I think. I think because I'm set up for Caisson, I'm just going to stick with it as a fuel source. It does seem to be a good fuel source. I just am not having any issues with it. Although, the sources for fuel do seem to be somewhat more spread out than hydrogen is. I seem to definitely have more hydrogen in my system. Lots of helium. Maybe I should switch to hydrogen. Is it eventually combined into 2 different... Does it combine into like one separate... What is it? Energy? Fusion balance. It still uses hydrogen. So... These guys can use helium. That's pretty cool. Hydrogen, helium. So like, wow, helium would be really useful. So like I can advance Caisson pretty far up there, but in the end, hydrogen does seem to be almost a better fuel source. So maybe I will go with hydrogen. There seems to be a lot more sources of it too, nearby. I can get rid of some of the mining stations for Caisson and start building up a stockpile for hydrogen. Do I want to do that now? I'll hold off on that. We'll save that for a future episode. Well, we'll dedicate an episode to fix setting up our empire for hydrogen fuel. But we did get the faster drive. But we'll deal with that later too. So we don't got a whole lot of time here. So how's the Guardian fleet? All set up and ready to go. So let's get in here. Whoa. Where are they? There they are. Here they come. Finally, let's get in here and set this up, shall we? Who are you? Oh, the exploration. Wow. Just wow. I don't really know what to say. I don't even know what to do. Who didn't go to war right there? What just happened? Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Lots of people going to war. All right. Okay, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to end this episode off here since we are out of time. And then what we'll do is next episode we'll go through. I already know there's going to be about 8 to 10, maybe even more, because I have so many mutual defense packs right now. Maybe even more than that. Different screens asking me if I want to declare war on these people. And I really don't want to break any of my alliances if I can help it, but I'm not going to stay with all of them. So what I'm going to do is next episode we're going to go through the list, see who we want to follow into war and who we don't. And then we'll hurry up, get the Guardian fleet repaired, and then we're going to go in defensive mode because I assume we're going to get attacked probably sometime in the next couple episodes, now that we're going to probably be going to war with a lot of different races. So I hope that you guys are ready. I do hope you enjoyed this episode, and I look forward to seeing you next time.